Hey guys, what's up? Today we're gonna be talking about if you can put your names, if you can like self-name a sports venue. I thought this was a really cool topic to do, so please enjoy the video. Okay, so essentially, yes, in theory you can if you're rich and you want to pay for like everything. You can name a sports venue after yourself, but I wouldn't really recommend that. And all this information comes from Everett Fitzhugh. He's or at least was, I don't know if he is anymore, the director of PR for the Cincinnati Cyclones, and he's also the radio voice, which means he's the director of broadcasting too. He answered this question for me, and he says his exact words were, I believe, "I guess you can." But I did some research, and I probably wouldn't recommend you self-naming something like that, like Richards Arena, or I would recommend like getting a sponsor, like a U.S. Bank Arena would, or a Great American Ballpark, or Verizon Center, or Staples Center, or like things like that, like sports venues like that get a big ass like brand name sponsor. I would recommend doing that because you have to do maintenance that can be expensive. To buy seats that can be expensive, and when you're actually making the arena, that can be fucking expensive as hell. So it's nice to have a little financial backing when you're actually building the sports venue, because then you're not using all your money and going fucking bankrupt mid-build, and you just have to abandon the whole project. So I wouldn't recommend putting yourself in, but you can, in theory, do that. If you want to pay for stuff like maintenance, which I would probably recommend having a lot of money if you do self-name a venue. And all of this stuff, like, it comes into play. When tax time comes around, I believe it does come into play. If it's a private one, you definitely fucking want to, because you don't want to build all that yourself. But if it's like publicly owned and being publicly built by taxes, I wouldn't. I think you might want to, but if it's being built by taxes, you don't have to have one right away. You can just do it a little bit later when it's built. You can like get a Great American to sponsor you, or Huggies, Love's Travel Stops, Flying J, Sheets. I would definitely do that for monetary purposes, because if it does get expensive when you're building stuff and you're maintaining stuff and paying employees, and it just costs a lot of money to have a venue, period. So a little financial backing never hurt anybody. It's a hard concept to grasp, because like you may want to do it just because it looks nice having your name like on a Richard Center, or what can I compare? I don't think really any venues do have it. Or LaFerve Arena, or Joe Nuxall Ballpark, something like that. Like, I wouldn't recommend doing that. I would recommend having at least a little bit of financial backing behind that, because you don't want to pay for all that maintenance yourself, because you have to maintenance the seats, because of safety stuff. You have to maintenance everything. And speaking of safety, always make sure you have insurance, period. No matter what you're building, a sports venue or not, always have insurance on that, because you never know what's gonna fucking happen. And I'm in no way telling you to commit insurance fraud if you need money. No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying get insurance, because if something happens, like somebody runs through, like a drunk driver runs through your building, that money, you can get money to help repair that. And yes, you can also get that financial backing from the sponsor to pay for that, but the insurance definitely helps, because then that financial backing, you can like distribute that elsewhere. That money that you would use on repairing that, you can distribute that elsewhere. Budgets come into play a lot when you're owning a business, no matter what it is, like a sports venue, a tech business, anything like that. Definitely a budget comes into play. And there's also this there's also the fact that if you do if something does go wrong during a performance or something, and it doesn't immediately impact, so you can leave it there and just maintenance it later, you're gonna need some financial backing at some point, because like renovations, those can cost a lot. If you're renovating the bathrooms, because this upkeep, it's pretty important to keep people come back, because if people aren't happy, you're not making money. The main goal of any business, whether it's a sports venue, a tech company, a video game company, a web design company, the main idea of any business is to make money. You're not making money if you don't have financial backing and you're upkeeping everything. You're gonna lose money at some point if you don't have that financial backing to help you maintenance everything. That's what it comes down to. It's, do you have the fucking money to do this? If you don't, I recommend staying away from that. Getting something like a U.S. bank to get you, or just getting a good company to help back you financially. That's what I can't stress that enough. Like, if you have enough money, go right ahead. I have no problem with you doing that. But if you don't have enough money and you're starting one of these, if you're not like a fucking like filthy rich millionaire like Kim Kardashian, like she can probably afford putting it on Bruce Jenner, those kinds of guys. They can literally put their names on stuff, and well, it's gonna make money because they're brand names. They're like really famous people. Some for better stuff than others. Not gonna say who I'm talking about, but yeah, if you do decide, if you're not one of those people, I definitely do fucking recommend getting that financial backing. I don't think I can stress that enough, because if you don't have that financial backing, you're probably gonna go under. Because it all it comes down to is the budgets, really. If you don't have the budget to maintenance everything, and people are like, ew, this is nasty, and they're not coming back, and you're not making enough money to then be able to spend that money on the maintenance, that's not a really good sign. It's just not a good sign. If all you're trying to do is just freaking run a business, have some financial backing at first. Don't take out a loan on that stuff. Well, you can if you're building it personally, but like try and get some financial backing on there with you. So if you don't have financial backing, please don't do that. I can't stress that enough. Make sure you have insurance. Don't self-name stuff if you don't have the funds to do that. If you're not filthy rich like a Jeff Gordon or Dale Earnhardt Jr. or Kim Kardashian. There's tons of people that can. Like, I just can't name every single one of them off the top of my head. Then don't self-name a sports venue. It's gonna go really wrong really fast. Get somebody like T-Mobile, anything. Maybe Rockstar Games, Take-Two Interactive, Electronic Arts. Like get some kind of company like that, like a brand name, give you that financial backing, because, well, number one, I don't recommend getting a small business unless you're really confident that that's going to grow really fast, because, like, those bigger places, they have those funds. Like, they can afford to spend $2-3 billion on a sports venue to help with upkeep and not be able to go under and not really have any problems with budgeting. Hell, if you look at some businesses, I believe that they do sponsor multiple sports venues. I can't name any of those off the top of my head, but I'm pretty sure like Verizon may be one of them. Bridgestone maybe. I think they have a hockey venue, and they have a they have a hockey venue, and then I believe they have a racetrack up in Canada, as well as a goaltending school in Canada as well. Uh, like so Bridgestone, that's a definite one that does have multiple venues, because believe it or not, a racetrack is still a sports venue. It still falls under that category. Anything that sports can be played in, that qualifies as a sports venue. Pretty simple, right? That's really all I have to say. Thank you guys for watching. I will see you next time.